attention to this latest edition of the Sports Nerd Show. We are a collection of sports nerds whose mission is to bring you as much sports talk as time allows over the next 60 minutes. Although we will strive to be highly informative and equally as entertaining over the next hour, we must warn you that there may be some cuss words along the way. But we don't give a damn because that is the way most humans in the real world tend to talk, and we, the sports nerds, are no exception. So without further ado, Nerd Nation, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as I present to you the founder and host of this crazy-ass show, Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright.
Hello, everybody, the Nerd Nation. My name is Scott, the Sports Nerd Wright, and this is the Sports Nerds for Tuesday, September 24th, 2024. Joining me tonight, of course, is my usual co-host, Mr. Elliot Big E, the producer Lamba, and Wayne, the Professor Lynch. We will bring you the news of the sports world within the last couple of days. It's only been since Sundays. We were together Sunday. We've had 3 football games since then. We'll go over that and whatever else we decide to come up with. Gentlemen, how we doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
All right. Wayne, are the Braves going to get in that last wild card spot, do you think? Or is it going to be tough?
Well, first and foremost, they have to, at a minimum, take 2 out of 3 against the Mets. At a minimum.
Right.
Preferably a sweep, of course. And then after that, the Mets play Milwaukee, and that's 50-50 because Milwaukee's probably resting people. And then the Braves, they still have to play KC, and KC still fighting for their wild card lives as well. So
yep.
The last 6 games are going to be very.
It's going to be pretty intense going down the stretch.
Yeah.
Well, you should probably also be rooting for people to beat the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks as well. Yep.
Because the Diamondbacks might be, in the end, the Diamondbacks might be the ones you're chasing instead of the Mets.
Yep. Well, the Diamondbacks, I can't remember who they play in the 3-game set before the weekend, but they have the Padres the last 3 games of the season. So that'll be interesting from a wild card standpoint as well.
Right. We've got where is it? Damn it. We've got preseason hockey tonight. The Lightning are playing Carolina in preseason hockey.
Oh, there was a Rangers-Bruins game, I think, on Sunday or Saturday.
Yep.
Didn't Pittsburgh play somebody the other night as well?
I don't know, but the NHL season's coming on strong, guys. And this is the best time of year. You have the NHL, Major League Baseball, NFL, and soon the NBA will be in training camp, and we'll have NBA games too. So, it's getting to that point where we're going to have all 4 major sports playing at the same time, and it's great. It's a great thing. It's a really good thing.
Don't forget, college football is still going, and then college basketball will be kicking up the end of October.
Right, WNBA's in their playoffs, and the WNBA's in their middle of their playoffs too. So,
yep.
Elliot's liking the Liberty, I'm sure, but that's okay. Go New York, right? Oh,
well, they got smart and didn't put a team in Cleveland.
Right. I'm with you on that.
They don't even want to follow Cleveland men's basketball, much less women.
Yeah, I hear you. Jesus God. Anyway, Sunday night football.
The referees win again.
I'm so tired.
How blatant can a pass interference call be than what happened?
I told my cousin, I said, if that would have been Kelsey, not only would they have thrown a flag for interference, but they probably would have thrown the guy out for unnecessary roughness.
Correct.
Okay. It's an atrocity how the NFL is exposing themselves to the fact that they're doing everything they can to help Kansas City three-peat.
Yeah, they want the
and possibly an undefeated season on top of that, the way they're calling the games.
The way they're calling games, yeah.
Yeah, that was a blatant pass interference call. And the referee was right there. The ump was right there.
If that wasn't pass interference, neither was the last play in the game in Kansas City against Cincinnati.
Correct.
because that wasn't even close to being as flagrant as that end zone pass interference against Kyle Pitts.
Right.
Yeah. I'm just so tired of this, man.
I mean, the defender had him wrapped up, for God's sake, and had his back to the friggin' ball. I mean, come on.
And now and especially they got to help him a lot, though, because now that Travis Kelce has checked out on football, okay, because of his extracurricular shit going out off the field, people are accusing him of not even caring about.
He's not a weapon anymore. He really isn't. He has not been a weapon the first 2 weeks at all.
No, he's been pathetic. And like I said, TV shows, commercials, Taylor Swift, this, that, the other, that shit catches up with you.
Yep.
Do you guys think that maybe the possibility of teams focusing on Kelce to limit his catches?
No, I just think that he's getting older.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes ain't finding him the way he used to.
Right.
And if he's not playing to the interest level that he used to play at, then yeah, his game is going to lack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What gets me is that if he keeps playing the way he is Taylor going to bail on him?
Oh no, I don't think so. I think.
Hey, she might be writing the breakup song right now as we speak. I mean, come on. She's there because she wanted to support him.
Right.
And he ain't doing shit. So if in his profession he is slacking, can you imagine if she did the same in her profession?
But she's not slowing down at all.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
So why would she want a loser that's going to fucking slow down on her?
Oh, come on.
You know what I'm saying?
I think they're happy.
Okay, stop being a Swiftie, yo.
I'm not a Swiftie. I don't like her music anyway, but that's okay. I mean, I'm more of a 70s and 80s kind of guy, not so much Taylor Swift.
They didn't let her in the building in Atlanta, by the way.
What's that?
I said they restricted her from attending the Atlanta game the other day.
Yeah.
You're not welcome in Atlanta. This is black belt territory.
Yeah, okay. So the Chiefs win.
The refs win.
Yeah.
Chiefs didn't win shit.
Right.
Refs are 3-0.
The refs are 3-0 this year for the Chiefs.
Yes.
You know, and that's just freaking pathetic.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you know what? It went all the way back to the Super Bowl. They cheated for Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
How do you go an entire game not calling an offensive holding on a team that led the league in offensive holding?
Or a false start because that tackle was coming off the line. I mean, that tackle was coming off the line early every single snap.
Yeah, that Taylor guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, the touchdown was a legal man downfield because one of the tackles was in the end zone when he threw the pass. So there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's just, come on. Patrick Mahomes ain't playing to the level he used to play at.
Yep. No.
Okay. They lost Isaiah Pacheco. Now the referees even got to come more together to try to figure out ways to help them win.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
You better have a huge lead going into the fourth quarter because we all know what's coming in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
If it's close, it's over.
Yeah. Stevie Wonder could have called that penalty.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. You're right, Wayne.
Ridiculous.
So I'm looking at Buffalo and Jacksonville last night, and I'm thinking
that was a track.
Maybe the Browns win wasn't so great last weekend compared to what Jacksonville did against Buffalo.
Well, I wouldn't go that far because the difference between Buffalo and the New York Giants is about Grand Canyon wide.
Well, but the Browns, but the Browns beat the Jags last weekend.
But that doesn't say much either, like I told you.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point.
Look, if you beat the Jags or the Titans, you ain't done shit special this year.
No.
And now they're going to force feed us to watch Miami and Tennessee next Monday night?
Yeah, that's going to be a shit show. Well,
they either needed to move that game to Sunday and just have one Monday night game.
Well, there's no
or
flex
just
option.
switch the games.
There's no flex option for this early in the season, Wayne, Elliot.
You know what? It's pathetic. Who the hell is going to watch that? What are going to be the ratings for that Tennessee-Miami game outside of Tennessee and Miami?
Probably very
They're not
low.
going to be that good in Tennessee or Miami.
I won't watch that.
Yeah,
I won't watch it. But you know what? They've got two more Monday night games next week too. I forget who the other one is.
Detroit
and Seattle.
No, that'll be a good game.
that's
That one
gonna
I
be
would watch.
Yeah.
That one I'm going to watch.
Yeah, that one I would
Seattle
watch.
in Detroit, I should say.
Yeah, Seattle goes to Detroit. And you know what? The last 2 times they've played, it's been a shootout.
It's been a barn burner.
Well, it's going to be a shootout because I mean, granted, the Lions are what 2-1, and Seattle's 3-0.
Yep.
In the 30s, dude. In the 30s.
It's going to be amazing. I would watch that. I would watch that game way over Miami.
Oh,
and
that
Tennessee.
could be a conference final matchup right there.
Absolutely.
You know, because right now, I mean, it's early and all that, but if we keep suffering injuries the way we are in San Francisco, we might not even be in any position.
You're the San Francisco's got a triage unit right now. That's all.
We just lost. We lost.
Hargraves.
We're missing Debo. We're missing Kittle. We're missing McCaffrey, who's now in Germany trying to figure out, ways to accelerate
his Achilles tendonitis. Yes.
recovery. Right. And we just lost Javon Hargrave for the season.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, but look, Purdy did everything he could for them on Sunday.
Well, the defense folded.
The defense let him down.
Because I mean, you know what? I mean, the Niners dominated that game for most of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but they had the magic.
The defense let the Rams back in the game, and that's where they got burned.
They had the magic 10-point curse,
10-point lead
in the fourth quarter. Okay.
Hello, Shanahan.
Yeah, exactly. And don't excuse Jake Moody, Mr. Not So Clutch.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, because remember we lost that game in Cleveland last year. Why? Because Jake Moody couldn't hit a freaking field goal.
41-yard field goal.
We lost to freaking Minnesota because Jake Moody couldn't hit his field goals. Okay.
Yep.
To me, Jake Moody's a bust. They need to get rid of his ass. I'd rather they bring in a one-legged freaking hopscotch motherfucker to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
And yet you got Aubrey in Dallas kicking bombs.
Yeah. Well, he's the best player on the team. They should have paid him the $60 million.
Keep talking, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta get out.
Yeah. Moody, not good.
Not good. Brandon Ayuk has pulled a Houdini. No one can find him anywhere.
Yeah, he got his money and disappeared.
Well, and which is usually what happens.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You get your bag, and then nobody hears anything. You don't earn that bag after you get it.
Yeah. The only person who's earned their pay raise this year so far for the 49ers has been Juwan Jennings. He balled out on Sunday, and I feel bad for him.
He did. And that shouldn't have been unexpected because had we won the Super Bowl, he was a strong candidate for MVP.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? And history shows and the stats have shown that whenever Debo sits out, Juwan Jennings goes off.
Yep. Not like this, though. He went off like
not like that. No,
yeah,
I get that.
but,
12 targets, 11 catches for 175 yards. Yeah. No, not like that. But that just tells you how bad the Rams defense is, too.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I had a guy in our fantasy league. He went and picked He picked Jennings off waivers and benched him.
Nice.
He wound up losing, of course.
Of course.
With those 46.5 points sitting on his bench.
Wow.
Yeah. And the thing is that what really perplexed me, he tried to come in late in the game and make excuses about it. But I told him, well, wait a minute. Why did you play 2 Detroit wide receivers and not put Jennings in the game for one of them?
He played 2 Detroit receivers.
He played St. Brown and he played Jameson Williams.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But you just look, one unwritten rule in fantasy, you never play the same 2 position players in the same game at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. He played 2 Detroit wide receivers. Jameson Williams wound up with 1.2 fantasy points, while he had Juwan Jennings with 46.5 on his bench. And he tried, I didn't notice at the last minute. Dude, you should have just not picked up Juwan Jennings. I was going to grab him and play him myself.
Right.
Because my receivers aren't the greatest in the world at this point. But that really ticks me off when people grab people off. And the thing is, look, there's no Debo, there's no Kittle, there's no McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Well, look, even if he would have scored 1/4 of what he did, he would have won that game against his opponent this week.
Speaking of the game, going back to the actual game, once again, Shanahan in the fourth quarter, instead of giving the ball to Mason, nope. Not that Purdy didn't do anything wrong, because he balled out as well as Juwan Jennings, as well as Mason. However, Shanahan trying to outsmart himself again.
But
he's overthinking it, Wayne. He's overthinking shit.
Seriously, Wayne, though, and you too, Scott, it would have been a moot point if Jake Moody makes his damn field goal.
True.
Yeah, you're true. That's right.
And if Ricky Bell learns how to catch a football.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been cut on Monday. I'd have found somebody else off the scrap heap. It didn't even look like he tried to catch it, like he tried to push it away from him.
Dude, I would have went and got me a T-Rex with short arms.
Ridiculous, I swear.
But yeah, I mean, sure, Shanahan can make different choices, but in the end, he put him in a position to win.
Yep.
And his players let him down.
Yep. Well, hopefully this week they got a chance to get right. So,
well, they got New England, so that's usually a good thing.
Yeah.
That's usually a get-right game.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I think the following week we play Seattle on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'd have to check, but I believe so.
That'll be fun.
Week 5.
That will be fun.
Well, that's going to go a long way to determine who's getting that division.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm hoping that Debo will be back and Kittle will be back for that game at least. Pretty sure there's no chance for McCaffrey to make it back.
Not if he's going to Germany to have a specialist.
Well, he's on the IR, so he has to miss at least till week 6.
4 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's no guarantee, because they usually say something like what he has takes about 6 to 8 weeks to heal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why he's in Germany trying to accelerate the process.
Shades of Brett Favre and his Achilles operation last year.
Oh no, my bad. It's not. It's
not Brett Favre. I mean, Aaron. You know, A-Rod.
Aaron.
Aaron. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they don't play next Thursday. Next Thursday is Tampa at Atlanta.
Oh, that'll be a good game too.
This week it's the Giants and Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that game.
I'm salivating that the Giants do what they did.
We do what they did to Cleveland against the Cowboys.
They did to Cleveland to another number 4.
Yeah. Oh, if they win on Thursday night, I have to get up early on Friday morning so I can watch First Take.
Oh, Stephen A. Smith, you gotta love it.
If you miss Friday, if the Giants win and you don't watch First Take on Friday, you're missing out.
All right. How about these Commanders, guys?
Jaden Daniels, real
Daniels just balled out last night. I mean,
by the way, that game with Seattle is October 10. Okay. And then we'll have the week and a half off before we host the Kansas City Chiefs.
That'll be fun to watch as well. That's going to be in Levi Stadium, right?
Yep. Week 7. And then we got the
Daniels,
Cowboys the week after that.
Oh, God. But anyway, going back to last night, Jaden Daniels, I mean, and McLaren just had a connection last night, man.
No turnovers in its first 3 NFL games.
Correct.
So,
did you guys?
The Washington staff is doing a whole lot better than the Chicago staff, getting their rookie quarterback into the proper places.
Cliff Kingsbury is a quarterback coach. That dude knows how. I mean, come on. Look what he turned Kyler Murray into.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that helps him out. As far as Washington goes, look, did you see the interview that Kirk Herbstreit did with Pat McAfee a few months back?
No.
This was before the draft. And Kirk Herbstreit has said, you know, everybody's going to be in love with Drake May and Caleb Williams, this, and that, but the steal of the draft is going to be Jaden Daniels.
And up to now, it has been.
Obviously, he knew something. And the thing is that there's a lot of people in Chicago right now saying that they should have taken Daniels.
Yeah, well, Herbie is plugged into the college game like nobody else out there.
And now he does Thursday Night Football.
Yes, he does. Yeah, and so I mean, Herbie follows college game like a religion. That's how he is. That's why he's so good on game day and on Saturdays. So I can't say I blame him for what he's saying about Jaden Daniels, because again, the kid was phenomenal last night.
Well, he obviously knew more than what the Chicago scouts and
yeah, but it's Chicago, Elliot. The Chicago franchise is terrible with grooming quarterbacks. It's
not exactly a quarterback haven.
No. It's not terrible with grooming quarterbacks. It's terrible with keeping consistency around their quarterbacks by getting rid of head coaches and bringing in garbage coaches.
Yes, that too.
We all know now that the problem in Chicago is not Justin Fields, it's Eberflus.
Or the ownership, for that matter. The ownership could be a GM.
And now they'll get rid of Eberflus, and that'll set Caleb Williams back another season.
Yes. Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So maybe he got to thank his lucky stars that the Bears didn't draft him, Mr. Daniels, because he's in a good situation. And I think mine and Wayne's prediction of Washington finishing second, at least in that division,
behind Philly,
is well on its way.
Yeah.
Do you think the Commanders will be second place behind Philly?
Depends on how they play Philly.
Yeah.
Because if they play like they did last night against Philly, they could easily sweep Philly. I mean, come on. Philly blew a game against Atlanta. They barely got past New Orleans.
Yep.
And they didn't look great against Green Bay in the Brazil game.
Reminder, that game against New Orleans was 3-0 at halftime.
3-0 in the fourth quarter.
Into the fourth quarter.
And not only this, if you go back and look at the scores from last year, Philly just barely beat Washington twice last year. They beat them by a combined total of 9 points, I believe.
Right.
First game, I think they won by 2. In the second game, they won by a touchdown.
And here's the contrast. Daniels doesn't have any turnovers this season, and Jalen Hurts has about 5 or 6 in 3 games.
Yep.
You
know, right now I'm tempted to trade Jalen Hurts for Jaden.
What about the Bengals, guys? They're now 0-3. Where do the Bengals go from here?
Nowhere.
They'll win 5 in a row.
Yeah,
like they normally do.
Chances are, but look, they're going to be playing Andy Dalton this week. Revenge game in Carolina.
Is it in Carolina or in
Carolina?
Is it Carolina?
Andy, you know what?
Ooh.
Dalton lit up the Vegas defense and see what he can do against. See what he can do against.
And the thing is that Cincinnati's defense.
Swiss cheese? I want to call it Swiss cheese.
Did they show up last night?
No, because they're the Bengals
38
defense.
Points to a rookie quarterback on Monday Night Football in your own stadium.
Yes.
Yeah.
If the Bengals are playing Carolina this upcoming weekend, I'm inclined to roll with the home team the way the Red Rifle.
The Red Rifle is back, guys. He really is. And you know what? You see his hairdo? It's as great as ever. I mean, dude,
they got redder since the last time I saw
right
him.
now.
Didn't his hair get redder since the last?
I think it has. Yes, Wayne.
He's got a fade. He's got a major high fade going on, man.
He's got better. He's got better hair than Joe Burrow does. Okay,
this dude looks like Sergeant Carter on Gomer Pyle. Yo.
There you go. Holy.
And like I said, Joe Burrow, he looks like Race Bannon from Johnny Quest.
There was a meme out there today. It says someone compared Joe Burrow. It says that Joe Burrow looked like Ellen DeGeneres, and they can't get that out of their mind now.
Well, he looks like Cody Rhodes on a bad hair day.
Yeah, I still say he looks like Race Bannon from Johnny Quest.
There you go.
No, because his hair looked better.
Yeah.
You look at him now, he's like half brown, half blonde. And it's like, dude, why don't you just
brown with blonde highlights? I mean,
yeah, I think that the chemicals they use to color his hair kind of screwed him over for this.
Yeah.
The beginning of this season.
What up, Ken?
there he is. Hey, Ken, how you doing, buddy?
Well, I know I picked Washington to finish second, and Ken saying that he picked them to finish second behind.
I think
Philly
you're right,
West.
Ken. The way the Cowboys are playing, they're just. I mean,
they might be lucky to finish ahead of the Giants.
Yeah, they will be. I mean, that defense is just so bad. That defense is just so bad right now. It's not funny. I mean, Jesus.
The run defense, and you know what? The Giants don't have a running game, but they ran the ball 32 times against Cleveland pretty successfully.
And Cleveland got a better defense than Dallas.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
So this ain't gonna be like the 40-0 blowout that an opening game last year when Daniel Jones got sacked 10 times.
Breaking news out of NFL.com. According to NFL.com, Brett Favre has announced he has Parkinson's.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. He announced it during the congressional hearing. During his hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a smokescreen? To try to get himself exonerated for stealing welfare money?
I don't know, but he needs to go to jail. That's all I care about. He's just, he's lost it. He's become a Trumper, and he's just, he's just out there.
Jaden Daniels is going to be up north this week. He's coming to Arizona.
What, huh?
Jaden Daniels is playing Arizona.
The Commanders, playing the Cardinals.
Commanders at Cardinals Sunday.
That has the potential to be a really good game, guys.
It does.
Yep.
It really does.
Neither team plays defense.
Right.
How about the Sunday night game, Buffalo at Baltimore?
Oh, that's going to be so much fun. Oh, my God. That is
now they should have moved that game to Monday and stuck Miami and Tennessee to Saturday.
There you go. Yeah.
College football games.
Yeah. God, Baltimore looked good against Dallas, but you know what? Buffalo was so dominant against Jacksonville last night. It was no contest.
Well, it's like
it's Jacksonville, and they got boat race.
It's Jacksonville. They've got Barbie as a quarterback.
Yes.
Okay. It was sickening to watch those fans in the stands with the headband and all the blonde hair hanging out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But look, Jacksonville at 0-3. Right now, Carolina's better than they are.
Has Trevor Lawrence degressed from where he was a year or two ago?
Who?
Trevor Lawrence? Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence has regressed since the day he started playing football.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Urban Meyer got him on the right track, if you want to look at it that way. Peterson.
Well, let's put it this way. Can we now blame Urban Meyer for the lack of Trevor Lawrence's success?
I still say he had a little bit to do with it.
Because remember, the last positive thing Trevor Lawrence did in this league was stake his team to a 27-0 halftime lead.
And then lose the game.
To the Chargers.
And lost to a team that had Brandon Staley as the coach.
Oh, jeez.
Hang
on, I got to go take a shower after that one.
That's a great take, Wayne. That's a really good take.
That was dirty.
Yeah. Yep. It was.
But
I
no,
feel dirty for saying it.
you can't take Jacksonville seriously, dude, at all. I mean, if you need an elixir or something to, cure your ailments, you look for Jacksonville on your schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. Because chances are they're going to uplift you to points where, you didn't expect you to go.
Well, it's pretty obvious that Houston and
And
Indy.
Houston's defense is overrated too.
Yeah, because Houston.
Because they gave up 27 points to the Indianapolis Colts,
Yes.
who haven't scored shit against anybody else.
Right.
And then they just got blown out by Minnesota.
Yep.
So this bunted Houston defense that everybody was clamoring about, that they went out and got Danielle Hunter and this guy and that guy, and they ain't doing shit.
I need to respond to Ken for a minute. Ken, I just want you to know that in basketball, I'm a Tar Heel fan. I could care less about the football program because the football program, they act like they're playing basketball, especially on defense. How you get a 50 burger and give up a 70 burger? So you score 50 points
against James Madison.
And speaking of Jacksonville, they're going into Houston this week.
Oh, they're going to get smoked. CJ Stroud.
Well, you don't know that.
CJ's going to have a good game.
Here's the thing. If Jacksonville loses and Carolina beats the Bengals, we can no longer talk smack about Carolina in the same light because Jacksonville has to be no, they're still Tennessee. I'm sorry. They still got Will Levis. I forgot about Tennessee.
Will Levis is a meme factory. He really is.
Okay,
basically James Monroe, not James Madison. I apologize.
Basically, here's how it works. You can't really put too much into that because at this point of the season, Jacksonville has scored 4 more points than Carolina did on Sunday.
Alone. That one
Alone.
day. Yes.
Carolina scored 36. Jacksonville has 40 points in 3 games.
In 3 games, yep.
Okay. So that game, instead of being good, could be kind of ugly come Sunday, especially if Houston doesn't show up. But then again, Jacksonville's defense ain't there. They lost Oluokun last night.
Yep.
Well,
which lost
Jacksonville's
me my fantasy
0-3. They haven't shown up thus far for any of their games right now.
If the game Houston's going to be pissed off for getting boat raced in Minnesota, so I got a feeling they're going to boat race Jacksonville.
Jacksonville's got the Texans, the Colts, the Bears, and the Patriots. You would think that they could capitalize on a weak-ass schedule like that, but they don't have the personnel to do it.
If they lose to Chicago and who'd you say, Carolina and Chicago?
It's the Texans this week, the Colts next week, the Bears, and then the Patriots.
Oh, and then the Patriots. Oh, okay.
If they can't beat Chicago or New England, they're done.
And Colts, Bears, and Patriots are all in Jacksonville. I'm just saying.
No,
they don't have anybody. Who are they supposed to be throwing the ball to? Christian Kirk? Christian Kirk hasn't done much of anything. Okay. They're missing Evan Ingram.
Yep.
They went out and got Gabe, I'll play every once in a while, Davis.
Gabe Davis. Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have really a tight end. And the tight end they do have, his name is Strange.
Who's the running back, Elliot?
Travis Etienne.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah. Well, he and Trevor enjoyed success at Clemson, not so much in Jacksonville.
I can't wait to see the battle of the Titans speaking of the Titans, and Jacksonville. Both teams are 0-3, and they got 2 games in 4 weeks in December. Boy, football rating is going to go down those 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, how about what's the game that's going to be in Germany? Carolina and
the Giants.
Carolina and
the Giants are showing signs of life, though.
You gotta feel bad for the audience in Germany when they get this.
Yeah, but wait a second. Right now, if you had a choice between that and Jacksonville and Tennessee, which would you take?
Giants,
the Giants and Panthers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if you ask everybody in Germany, they say the same thing.
Right. It's a good point. Oh, Jesus God.
It's bad out there, man. It's bad out there. They just don't have anybody. That's all there is to it. And their defense is terrible. I mean, yeah, their defense is awful, dude. Awful.
NFL put out its power rankings. Hang on a second. Let's see. I got the list here. I think. All right. Let's put their power rankings out here.
Referees number 1, Kansas City number 2.
Yeah. Let's
power rankings. Ref 1.
Let's just do the top 10. Okay. Number 10, New Orleans. Number 9, Pittsburgh, which pisses me off because Pittsburgh had a good game last week, and I can't stand the fact that
they're 3-0.
Yeah. Number 8 is Baltimore. So even though Baltimore's 2-1, they're still above the Steelers. 7 is Green Bay. Who, you know what?
How are they above the Steelers if the Steelers are 3-0?
I don't know.
Makes no sense. Hey, there you go.
Ravens look for the first 3 quarters in Dallas. The Ravens looked like a team that read last week's power rankings.
They looked that way against the Raiders the week before and lost in the 4th quarter.
So they're 1-2, but they're ahead of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that game to be on the schedule because Pittsburgh and Baltimore is always good TV. Number 7 is the Packers.
Well, if they did what they did with Malik Willis, Jordan Love coming back.
What do you do? I mean, does Jordan Love still have?
No, that's Jordan Love's job, dude.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now, what Green Bay should be thinking about is trading Malik Willis while he has some value.
I think the Browns need a quarterback, guys. I'll tell you.
Hey, Malik Willis could be available.
You never know.
It's like I can't understand why Miami hasn't signed Ryan Tannehill.
Well, they don't know when Tua is going to be back.
Look, they gotta proceed as if Tua is never coming back. That's the mentality you have to have.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Because if he doesn't come back and you didn't prepare yourself for it, that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. You're on alert, and it's all falls on you, and you can't blame anybody else.
Right.
It's like right now with the Pittsburgh situation. Do you think that Mike Tomlin, the way Fields has led this team, is going to risk his neck trying to say that Wilson is now the number 1 quarterback?
No.
He gets back in only if Fields gets hurt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Pittsburgh fans would be irate at that point.
Yep.
They would lose total faith in Mike Tomlin, saying that he's senile and he's losing his mind.
I don't think the Pittsburgh fan base will ever be tired of Mike Tomlin.
And honestly, how much can you get in return right now for another team that could use Russell Wilson?
Hell, I would take Russell Wilson too.
At this point, Russell Wilson is a better option than Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I would take Russell Wilson over Deshaun.
Just like he's a good shot, he's a better shot in Miami.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not. I mean, come on, Denver's paying $38 million of his contract. All you got to do is pick up $1 million.
Correct.
He's a freaking bargain right now.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh's picking up what, 2?
Dude, Tennessee with Will Levis should be thinking about trying to grab Malik Willis back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the Titans are regretting drafting him as well.
Well, they also drafted Malik Willis, and they regretted that enough to where they sent him to Green Bay. And look what Green Bay's doing with him.
Yeah, and you know who the backup is in Tennessee, right?
What's his name? Jones.
Who? No, Mac Jones is in Jacksonville. He's
in Jacksonville. Okay.
He played last night.
Marcus Mariota?
Yes, Marcus Mariota is the backup in
I
Tennessee.
couldn't remember which one.
Yes, it's Marcus
I had my
Mariota.
team switched.
Yes.
You sure? Because I think Mariota belongs better off with a clipboard and some headphones than he does on a football field.
Yep.
Again, if you go back and get Tannehill or Willis or whatever, that's better than freaking Marcus Mariota.
Well, anything's better than Will Levis. Come on, guys.
Why can't they? I know this is not going to make you happy. Why can't they snag James?
Well, wait a second. No, you know what? I'm going to push back on that, Scott. Not everybody's worse than Will Levis. I mean, better than Will Levis. Because there is a guy in Denver named Zach Wilson. Who makes Will Levis look like a Hall of Famer.
Will Levis just makes stupid plays when he's under pressure.
Yeah,
Will
right.
just makes stupid plays all the time.
Will
Right.
backhand Levis.
All right, so after the Packers at 7, we get the Texans at 6, despite their big loss against Minnesota. They dropped 3 spots, so they were 3. Now they're 6. Number 5 is the Philadelphia Eagles. They went up 1 from last week.
Honestly, they should be 3-0 right now.
They should be. You're correct, but
If they
Saquon
didn't
dropped
throw
that
that game
pass.
with Atlanta, yeah.
Well, and that pass was a bad call.
3-0.
It was a bad play call to begin with. They should have been running the balls to the pass.
I think Saquon made up for it, though, with that 76-yarder he ran.
Oh, I think he did too. Yes,
He ran
absolutely.
21 point something miles per hour he ran.
Yeah, yeah. And he was on Good Morning Football today too, in bragging about it. And it was a good interview.
Hey, don't sleep on this game Sunday.
Which one?
Minnesota at Green Bay.
Oh, that's going to be great because you got
You got
Aaron
Darnold and the Vikings and that defense.
Aaron
coming
Jones
in,
going back to Green Bay too,
and then Jordan Love coming back.
possibly.
No, he'll be back. They're not. You know what? It's a division game. The only reason they didn't play him this week is because they were playing Tennessee.
Well, and then Aaron Jones goes back to Green Bay as well as the Minnesota
That
Vikings.
too.
Yep.
So that's going to be an interesting game because again, it's a division game, and if they're going to bring him back, the last thing you want to do is give away division games.
Right.
And if they're ever going to bring back Love, it's got to be this Sunday.
Agreed.
Because if they lose to Minnesota, then they're automatically a game behind in the division and down on the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in that position this early.
Number
And
4.
Jordan Love was ready to play last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Number 4 in the power rankings is Detroit.
I'm still not convinced.
I mean, they beat Arizona in Arizona this week. But again,
It wasn't convincing enough for me.
no, it wasn't convincing enough. You're right, Elliot. It wasn't. So,
Especially after they lost at home to Tampa,
yes,
who turns around and gets destroyed by the Denver Broncos.
correct.
At home.
At home.
Yep.
Okay. And I don't know. Again, when you're a team like Detroit, it's hard to get back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything they did last year up until the fact that they lost to the 49ers, everybody was, they'll be back next year. Next year they're going to get over the hump. Well, you know what?
And there's some of these pundits out there, there's these talking heads on sports channels. Some of them have picked Detroit to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Which is
Quite a few of them
premature.
have, to be quite honest with you.
Which is very premature as far as I'm concerned.
Right. I agree.
Because again, what got you there wasn't enough. What are you doing differently this year that's going to get you past where you got last year?
Tim Lynch in the house, Wayne.
What's up, bro?
What up, brah?
Good to see you, Tim. Good to see you.
So I'm not. Anyway, next power ranking.
Next one is number 3, and that's the Minnesota Vikings.
That's about right.
They deserve that. I mean, offensively and defensively, they can't be playing any better.
Sam Darnold has been phenomenal with these guys. It really
And
has.
there was no
Amazing.
structural damage to his knee, so he should be out there this weekend.
Yeah, he should be okay.
And he's spreading the ball too.
Yep.
He threw 4 touchdowns to 4 different receivers.
Yeah,
last
I
week.
mean, it's amazing what a different situation will do for a guy that has done nothing but struggle for his career up to this point.
It's amazing.
In Carolina, and then but I think the time he spent in San Francisco brought his game up to a different level. I think that's what it was.
Well, it's just amazing how when you put somebody in a system that works to their skill level, their skills,
Right.
okay, how that player can succeed. Because you know what? He's not throwing for 300-400 yards.
But he's
not even throwing for more than 25 passes in a game.
Right.
But he's being efficient, and he's doing what he has to do. Plus, he has guys like Justin Jefferson. What happens when T.J. Hawkinson gets back?
I know, right?
It's amazing what you can do when you actually have talent around you.
That too.
The best thing that happened, the best thing, as bad as it sounds, the best thing that happened for Sam Darnold was that J.J. McCarthy got hurt. That way, there's no quarterback controversy in Minnesota.
Well, I wouldn't say that because J.J. McCarthy wasn't a proven commodity. He might have come out and not been able to do what Sam Darnold does,
right?
And wind up getting benched like Bryce Young,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
I think he was going to start anyway. I think Darnold was going to start, and then they were going to turn.
He was, yeah, he was, Wayne. He was, and the thought the thought was that Darnold would start for some games. And then at some point in time, they'd bring in J.J. McCarthy to take over.
But just remember, too, that Minnesota runs a similar offense as the 49ers.
As the 49ers, yep.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, that West Coast offense?
Yep.
Yeah. And guess where Sam Darnold was learning last year?
San Francisco.
In that West Coast offense.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because obviously East Coast offenses didn't work for him.
Right. It's amazing the West Coast offense is still working after 40 years and when the Niners introduced it.
Well, it's kind of like
Bill Walsh.
It's kind of like the triangle that Phil Jackson invented in basketball.
Yeah.
That's still around.
That wasn't even Phil Jackson. That was Tex Waters or Tex Winters, excuse me.
Right. His assistant coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying they developed that, and that offense is still being used around the league. The triangle offense?
Yep.
So
number 2.
Again, it's where you're at. No,
number 2 is the Buffalo Bills.
Let me guess, they're putting Kansas City number 1.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, they should be 1B because the referee should be 1A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we talked about earlier, I'm so sick and tired of this. This is just straight BS. Referees and Kansas City, man.
I mean, it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't so blatant.
Yeah, it's so obvious. It's painful to watch.
Right, I agree with you.
And what's even more painful is going over these power rankings in week 3.
Well, I know I'm sorry. I mean, there was not much going on. I figured I'd bring up some kind of subject. But
hey, we could have talked about other stuff than power rankings that don't mean shit right now.
Right.
Because just because San Francisco's 1 and 2 doesn't mean that they're not as good or better than the teams that are ranked in the top 10 right now.
Right, I got you, Elliot. I'm with you on
They're
that.
just being decimated by injury and bad coaching and bad kicking, special teams.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But if you think that at least 40% of those teams are going to be in the top 10 a few weeks from now?
In 3 or 4 weeks? No, they're not going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I say start paying attention to power rankings once midseason hits.
Yeah, week 8, week 9.
Yeah. Now you can start
kind of
talking.
like when the committee brings out the NCAA rankings when they bring out their NCAA rankings, when the committee does that for the playoffs. That's not going to happen until sometime next month.
To me, rankings are subjective, dude.
Right. Right.
And they don't mean a damn thing.
Yep.
Okay.
So we've got NHL hockey this week. The preseason starts with NHL hockey. Training camps for the NBA start next week. Let me ask you guys this. Are we going to follow a hockey, or are we going to stick with NFL all season, for the rest of the year?
If you plan on running 2-hour shows, then we're going to have to throw in hockey, basketball, and everything else under the sun.
On Sundays alone would be the only time we do a 2-hour show.
Well, and Sundays is when you usually have the most content available.
Right.
But then you're cutting into the Sunday night game too if you do that.
Yep.
Yes, which means we might need to think about starting at 7 again.
We might. Most of the games are over. We can actually react to those games that are going overtime or over the 7 o'clock mark. We can talk about them live as well. So
yeah, well, those games that start at 4:25 East Coast time, they don't finish up till around 7:30ish. So
correct.
I know where Wayne's going to be at 4:20 this afternoon.
Where?
Watching the
Braves. Yes. Watching. You said 4:20, and I had a marijuana reference.
Hey, speaking of which, you might want to get high just in case they lose.
Right, there you go.
You said 4:20. That's why I hesitated. I was like, we're not in April.
Well, it is legal in California, Wayne. So recreation.
All right, let me change that. I know where Wayne's going to be at 4:21.
Yeah, you said 4:20. Marijuana reference popped in my head.
There you go. Hello. Cheech and Chong are knocking at your front door, Wayne, right now.
I'll tell you what, if you lose, you'd wish you had a blunt.
Yeah. Made me want while the game's on.
It's funny.
I might tune in to see the Yankees clinch the division today.
They're up what? 5 on Baltimore or 6?
They're up 6 with 6 to go.
6.
Well,
yeah, it's a
they
wrap.
win tonight. They got the division.
Yeah.
It's just a one-game deal. You know?
Yeah.
The only other thing we have to concern ourselves with is finishing with the best record ahead of Cleveland. Outside of that, we're good. Right now, what are we up on Cleveland?
Hang on a second.
2.5 games?
Hang on a second. Standing.
Well, actually 3 in the loss column.
So Cleveland has what? 7 games left or 5?
Cleveland has 5 and the Yankees have 6.
Right now, the Guardians are 2 games behind the Yankees right now.
No, they're 3 games back in the loss column.
Yeah,
That's
look in the loss column.
Yeah, you're right. 3 games back in the loss column. You're right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means that the Yankees still have a game in hand on them.
Yep.
So the magic number to clinch the AL best record is 4. Any combination of Cleveland losses and Yankees wins a total 4.
Yep.
It's over. So really, if we could sweep or sweep Baltimore, it's a wrap.
So this series is against Baltimore?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore is in New York tonight.
New York today.
Baltimore is in New York tonight. The Guardians are playing Cincinnati. They're already up, I think, 1-0. Yes, they're up 1-0.
And if all else fails, we got Pittsburgh over the weekend. So.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Like I said, that's
nice to be able to end your season with a soft landing.
There you go.
Well, it'll only be a soft landing if we can finish with that best record.
Well,
and then the Phillies finally clinched. The Phillies clinched for the first time.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, they did. You're right. They did. Yep.
13 years it's been since they clinched the
correct
AL East.
Yes.
The Brewers are up. I think is going to be a dark horse in the National League. The Padres.
Padres are just like the Guardians. They fall apart in playoffs.
Okay.
I know.
Go to hell, Wayne.
I know.
Which means we won't see Cleveland and San Diego in the World Series, right?
Yeah, go fuck yourself, Wayne. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, the one thing I don't have to worry about is that's not going to be the matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Now San Diego's only 3 games behind the Dodgers with 6 to play.
They're not going to catch the Dodgers. I'm sorry, they're not going to. It's not. I mean,
They're not playing
guys,
head to head. You're right.
how about the friggin' season that Shohei has had this year in baseball?
Oh yeah, hands down, most valuable player, even though he doesn't do anything on defense.
Oh, wait a second.
50 and 50 for Shohei. 50 home runs, 50 steals.
Fuck Shohei.
What?
Moving on.
What?
You heard me.
Okay.
I didn't stutter.
All right.
If you didn't hear me, F-U-C-K-O-T.
All right.
Shohei. Anyway, I wouldn't be too confident on that San Diego not catching the Dodgers. They're playing a 3-game set starting tonight.
Oh, that's a great series. Holy
San
cow.
Diego at LA. Next 3 games.
I mean, the Dodgers have already clinched a playoff berth, but they have not clinched the division.
Nope.
Well, and if San Diego, if they win these 3, of course, they still got 3 left with Arizona. However, San Diego would win the season series against LA, which if they ended up tied, of course, San Diego would win the division.
Well, the Dodgers are in Chicago. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Los Angeles.
No, the Dodgers are hosting San Diego tonight.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
Thursday.
Yep. You're
looking at the Angels.
I'm looking at the Angels. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, Elliot. I'm looking at the Angels. You're right.
So that's going to be a critical 3-game series right there, along with your series with the with the Mets.
Yep.
And at the same time, you're also looking at, I think you're going to be a San Francisco fan this week as well.
Well, I mean, I got no grudge against San Francisco.
But they're playing the Diamondbacks. So
I got no grudge against San Francisco. I know they're playing the Diamondbacks, but I hate Philly to begin with. I hate them even more now because they couldn't beat the damn Mets.
Oh yeah, 2-1 the other night.
Good grief, and lost 3 out of the 4.
How are the Mets in second place? I don't understand that.
Dude, the hottest team in baseball since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they're the best team in baseball since the All-Star break.
Yep. Obviously, that break helped them out because they done righted the ship.
They're 2 games behind. The Braves are 2 games behind the Mets right now in the division.
Yeah, that's why I said they have to win at least 2 out of 3, preferably all 3.
And the Diamondbacks.
Let me see something real quick. Wild card. Oh, the wild card.
Yeah,
San Diego. 3 teams in the wild card right now are the Padres, Mets, and Diamondbacks, with the Braves on the outside looking in with a game and a half behind.
Yeah, I think San Diego's got the number 1 locked up, I would say.
Well, they're up 3.5 on everybody else, but that's a possibility.
Unless they get swept by the Dodgers.
Yeah. Then that makes things interesting.
It will make everything interesting. You're right, Wayne.
Yep.
I don't think they'll get swept by the Dodgers though.
But right now, the only thing up in the air is those 3 teams fighting for the last 2 spots.
Right. What about the AL? You still got Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota battling for that wild card.
Well, there are 7 teams fighting for the wild card in the American League.
Yeah, you can forget about Tampa.
Baltimore, Detroit, the Royals. Then you get the Twins, Mariners, Red Sox, and Rays.
Yeah, stop at the Mariners.
Yeah.
The Red Sox and Rays ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, you don't even have to count Baltimore. They got what, a 4.5 game lead on second place wild card.
Yeah, but Baltimore
they're 4 games up on the wild card. You're right.
Baltimore's going to have the number 1 wild card. It's going to come down to.
Hey, what? Detroit has actually surprised me how good they are this year.
Detroit actually has been decent the whole year, but their problem was they win 2, lose 3, win 4, lose 3.
Right.
Well, here's the thing: when you play in the division with the Chicago White Sox, you're going to pad up your stats quite a bit.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean,
if you look at it, the other 4 teams in that division all have winning records.
Right. You got to look at it that the top 4 teams for the wild card 3 of which are in the AL Central.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 39 games against Chicago.
But only 2 of them can make it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's
Well,
39
who would
games
you rather
against
face?
Chicago.
What's that?
Who would you
39
rather
games
face
against
at this
Chicago.
point?
I mean, the White Sox have 120 losses, guys. How bad is that?
They just need one more.
Just to put it in real perspective, they've been outscored by 320 runs this season.
Jesus Christ.
The next closest are the Rockies and Marlins at 223.
Outscored by 320 runs. How bad can you be? Jesus God.
Yeah,
All
that's,
right,
that's about being outscored. Let's see. They've played 156 games. 320. That's about 5 runs a game you're losing by.
Yeah.
So when White Sox games start, the score's already 5-0.
Yeah. Right. All right. It's 7 o'clock. Let's get out of here. Thanks everybody, all 2 of you that showed up to watch the show tonight.
Hey, that's 2 more than we had a couple weeks ago. So
Correct.
Yeah, no doubt.
Correct. It was a good show. Thanks to Wayne, the Professor Lynch, and Mr. Elliott, Big E, the producer Lamba. I am the Sports Nerd, and we will be back on Thursday night to preview Thursday Night Football at 7 o'clock, and maybe even do a pregame prediction and a coverage of the Sunday games. On that note, my New York friend, Mr. Elliott, Big E Lamba, play the outro, please.
Thank you once again, Nerd Nation, for spending all of your evening with us here for this latest episode of the Sports Nerd Show. Please keep in mind that we do this on a regular basis every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. And since each night's start time is different, please check out our SNN group page on Facebook for the correct time. So until the next time we come together, Nerd Nation, on behalf of the Sports Nerd and his co-hosts, Ken Costlow, John Olson, Wayne Lynch, and me, Big E, may your lives be filled with all the best sports action anyone human can handle, as well as all the joy it can possibly bring you. And with all that said, good night.